Hi, this is Quinlan, and today I'm just barely north of Tokyo in an area called Chichibu, specifically the town of Ogano. I was invited down here to take part in a new wellness tour, and it is fantastic. So on the first day of this tour, you come up from Tokyo, from Ikebukuro Station to Chichibu, take a taxi up here to this glorious temple, Hosoi, where you do meditation and chanting, eat lunch, visit a beautiful cliff, and on the second day, weather permitting, we're going to hike a sacred mountain called Ryokami-san. And on the third day, there's a number of other activities, including a type of local Kabuki hands-on experience, and so we'll see that a little later. Come with me. This temple is just amazing. From the gateway, you go up this incredible stairway with statues of Jizo and Kannon along the way. You might think you've never heard of Kannon, but I bet you have. Ever heard of Canon cameras? Well, Canon is actually named after the same Buddhist divinity. You can see it in the original logo right here. And behind the temple, you've got this really interesting geological formation called a tuffany. It's about freezing and thawing and salt getting into little crevices and over millions of years forming this sort of honeycomb formation that you see. Because this tends to form on cliffs and with partial caves, naturally, they actually overlap with sacred places really often. A lot of these sites in Japan that have this tuffany, as it's called, are also places where throughout the last 800 or 1,000 years, various Buddhist ascetic monks were performing rituals, spiritual ascetic training, and meditating for extended periods of time. And so what is actually incredibly beautiful is also sacred. Let me introduce the head monk of this temple, Hosoi. 住職の新谷と言います。この法性寺で曹洞宗のお寺として22代目の住職になります。般若山法性寺と言います。なんか仏教というとなんかやたら深いこと難しいことを言ってるような感じに思う方が多いと思うんですけども、やっぱりなんだかんだ言って今どうやって生きるかっていう目の前のことにね立ち向かっていくとか解決するために観音経とかあると思うんですね。ですから、何か困った時には、観音経を唱えられなければとりあえず観音様のとこに行って手を合わせてみることによって何か解決まではいかないかもしれないですけども、自分の中で思うところが出てくるんじゃないかなというふうに思います。The monks will sometimes encourage the practitioner by giving them a little pat with a stick on the shoulder. It's not a punishment, it's encouragement to fix your posture and to refocus your attention. Mako hanya haramita shinyo kanji zaibo sayojin hanya harami jisho kengon kai kudo issai kuyaku shari. After doing these two different forms of meditation, one silent, one not so much, then you eat what's called shojin ryori, which is a traditional Buddhist type of cuisine, which is completely vegetarian. And the room, we're staying at a hot springs ryokan, and look at this. Pretty nice traditional room. There is a bathroom and shower over there. You may look at this and say, well, where do you sleep? And of course, just like in a lot of ryokan, when you're eating dinner, someone comes into your room and lays out the futon. And so after I get back from dinner, it'll be all laid out. On the second day of the tour, you get to hike the most sacred mountain in the area, Mount Ryokami. The trail you hike has been a pilgrimage route for more than 1,000 years. Initially, Kukai Kobo Daishi, the founder of Tantric Buddhism in Japan, came up here and prayed and did ascetic practices here. And since then, thousands and thousands of devotees have come countless times. And along the trail, we find Buddhist statues along the way. And for those of you who are keeping count, this is one of the Hyakumeizan, as they say, the 100 famous mountains of Japan. And a lot of people try to come just because of that as well. I have a guide with me today who's going to take me up to the top. His name is Takuya Matsumoto.
はじめまして、松本拓也です。
All right, so we're starting right here. I'm going to take this red trail here and then go up to, I guess, Kengamine. And this is the summit of Ryokami-san. This trail really makes itself known as a pilgrimage site with all of these beautiful ancient statues going back to the Edo period and before. Oh, here we have Fudo-myo. Fudo-myo or Achala is really deeply intertwined with this spiritual training, and many of the waterfalls where people do this takigyo, where they're standing and chanting the Heart Sutra underneath a cold, icy waterfall, that's associated and often named after Fudo-myo. It'll be called like Fudo no Taki or something. Many places you find these chains help you up the steeper spots. Here we have again the Hakkaizan Daigongen. This rather imposing cliff area here is a site where there was once a waterfall before probably landslides and a lot of things changed it and made the flow of water go somewhere else. So now it's all dried up, unfortunately. So this is the waterfall, that Kiyotaki, where they used to do their spiritual training. And so I'm gonna go see what that statue is. I think that's a Fudo-myo up there, but I'm not sure. So I'm gonna go take a look. There's a chain. I believe it says Kiyotaki up here, and then there's the name of some of the divinities up here. Wow, the chain keeps going. This is actually a little bit scary. And here we have the main divinity, and I can see Sanskrit characters written up here as well. What a place. Now I've got to get down safely. Not bad at all. A little bit of snow on the ground. More chains. And look, we're now in sight of the Ryokami shrines, Okonomiya, or the sort of inner or hidden shrine. Again, this area has been sacred since at least the time of Kukai in the 800s, right? 1200 years ago. You're allowed to open this, take a peek inside at the divinities herein. Almost made it to the summit. You'll notice something different here from normal Japanese shrines, and that is that the protectors, usually they have these koma inu, or they're these lion-looking things. Here in Chichibu, they're wolves. Wolves in this area were actually viewed as messengers of the gods and as divine protectors. And there are two main reasons for that. One being that there's this legend of Yamato Takeru no Mikoto, one of these ancient oldest sons of one of the early emperors. And when he was journeying in this area, he became lost, and a wolf who was sent by the gods came and showed him the way to Mitsumine Shrine, another area around here. And so he was basically saved and guided by a wolf, according to this legend. And the other one is more cultural, and that's that in this area, deer and wild boars do damage to the crops that people are growing, and wolves, of course, eat those things. And the wolves were rather viewed positively by the local farmers because I guess they weren't herding sheep or anything in this area, so they weren't worried about the wolves eating their livestock. They were more worried about the deer destroying their rice crop and eating the other vegetables and whatnot they were growing. And so thank you, wolves, for keeping those other animals in control. Okay, the summit awaits. Time to get back on the trails. Almost at the summit, very close. Don't want to fall off to one side. Looks like it goes straight up here. So up we shall go. Chains, chains, chains. Is this the summit? Yes, it is. The proper marker. 100 famous mountains of Japan, Ryokami-san, Ryokami Sancho. 1,723 meters. And of course, if you come all the way up here to the tip top, look at that, Mount Fuji. Small, I guess, but still brightly visible on this clear day. I would say that for those of you who like a little bit of adventure, this Ryokami-san with all the chains and areas that you can climb up really gives you that. Now, the fun part, going down. So there's a lot of steepness in this mountain, and so the way down is going to be exciting too. I mean, look at this. Going down, down, down with chains and climbing on a narrow path. You don't want to stumble. Thank you, chains. I appreciate you. I made it back down to the shrine at the trailhead. So it's time to head back to the hot springs ryokan that you're staying at if you're doing this tour. And tomorrow we're going to do a sort of local kabuki, or at least maybe put on some of the makeup for it. And so, yeah, let's check that out in the morning. I'm not usually one to wear makeup, but I think when I was 14, 15, maybe 16 years old, I went through a phase where I wore eyeliner and black nail polish, but it's been decades. You might wonder about why I'm dressed like this, but the city here, the town of Ogano, has a history going back about 230 years of local kabuki. It all started when one man came back home after living in Edo and being part of kabuki troops there. He brought with him a deep passion for kabuki, and due to his efforts, it spread, became a tradition, and now this whole town is famous for kabuki. In fact, 200 people in this tiny little town are involved in it. Not only do they have the actors, they do the makeup, they hand paint the sets and build them. Not only do they perform on stages all throughout the year, they have different events where outdoors, in shrines, in city streets, they have these kabuki performances where they have people of all ages, men and women, performing kabuki throughout the town. I am going to have to come back and witness one of these because I'm here right now as part of this tour where we get to experience it, put on the makeup, dress up, and learn about how we do some of these movements that make kabuki what it is. But I would love to actually see some of these real performances. Apparently I've just been told that this outfit is a Robin Hood type character, a thief, but rather a thief for good who robs the rich to feed the poor, as it were. We're actually going to draw our blades, just... これを持ってください。ちょっといいですか。はい、どうぞ。あ、いいじゃない。うん。いいじゃない。うん。
で、さっき言ったようにその右足を出して左をぐーっと押し出す。
I have no idea what I'm doing. This is actually harder than it looks. So he's told me that I'm supposed to draw the hiragana character for no with my head and look with really big eyes. So
そうですね。1、2、
1、2。
そんな感じ。じゃあ足から。いいじゃないですか。
So if you have a chance, I really recommend you come to Oganocho and check this out. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, it brings me back to high school, standing on a stage like this and learning how to do it. I mean, he was explaining, I'm terrible at it because I haven't had to practice, but you hold this in a certain way, you put it down, and I'm doing it terribly, but you get the general idea. So if you do this, you learn how to perform a little scene, you dress up, and it's just a lot of fun learning about the history of it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the trails.